soccer that I sold. That day.
I'll put the bag.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, good luck. I hope it will get us for you. Yeah.
Well, I am one step closer though, because at least I got a teacher, so that'll do the trick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, how much time do we have? Ready?
Yeah.
Right now.
7:00.
Let's rock. As soon as we get Mr. Inspector to. Going, let's get it. All right, folks. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Are there any announcements? Not hearing any. John, who's with us electronically?
It's president, nobody.
Okay. Right then. I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Waiting for Bill.
Approved, right. That's right. I think he's involved in some Newfield right now. Right?
Yeah, when is the date? It is today.
Yes, I think so.
Didn't come to the meeting?
Bring bride with the bouquet and everything. What a planet. Public forum, anybody wishing to speak that would be interested in addressing the board, you may do so. Not seeing anybody or hearing any, we're gonna move on. Mr. Winkle, we take care of our business. Leo, with a smile today. And we feel. Okay. Consent calendar. To save a hassle, before I call for a motion on that, I want something simple. Be, oh, right in front of me. Get squared away. On page, on the meeting draft minutes 1152, on page 4, line 8, Secretary Brock, not Branch. Rhymes with brand.
Spell check.
That's all.
Corrected yet.
Yeah,
Well, it's at least a Valley branch, right?
Yeah.
I get confused. Imagine that. Valley Branch. Okay, so with that said, that's squared away. I would like to make a motion, excuse me. Do any of the managers have any items they would like removed from the consent calendar? We're good, okay? And I would like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye. Okay, that's approved. Update from request from partners, volunteer citizen advisory committee. Up to this point, very good. Let's move on to business and reports, administrator, engineer. The 2026 levy and budget. Motion required. We were all at the meeting. We know about this one. I'm just getting my paperwork squared away here. Here we are. John, please lead us.
As President Managers, after the workshop and gaining your input, I updated the 11/17 draft budget that is included in your packet. As the managers discussed, raising the levy by 5%. All of those funds were put into the water quality budget item, which is line 11. in the table.
Right.
Summary of the various funds and the draft public notice is on the second page of the memo.
Okay.
The request tonight is to approve the numbers in that table and the overall draft public notice so that Gallowitz and Olson can post it in the Pioneer Press for the public hearing at the September 11th meeting.
Very good, sir. I just want to mention that under, what is it, under public education? That we have a lot of some, if I'm correct. What, 250,000 for public education? 246, is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. Yes, here it is. 246,500. We're certainly doing our part. We're trying to. Okay, do managers have any comments or questions about this? All right, not hearing any. I will make a motion to approve values to publish for the 2026 levy and budget hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
So moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye. Aye.
it is approved. Thank you. Okay, our next item. Website. This one's a beauty. Okay, John, please lead us, and I have plenty of questions.
For the managers who talked in the past, that there's a new ruling by the Department of Justice that says all websites need to be ADA compliant. Valley Branch Watershed District's website is not ADA compliant. We had a free assessment done and there were some comments that were provided by those assessors that are included in the package. The more complicated thing with the website to make it ADA compliant will be determining what reports to keep on the website as active. Some that they can be moved to an archive folder as long as they're not necessary to be assessed very frequently. But the ones that are active need to be ADA compliant. That would include your meeting packet, permit application forms, permit variance forms, the rules and regulations, various water quality reports, if you want to post them like you have been posting them, the inspection report, different educational material, all that stuff would need to be ADA compliant. And a website designer doesn't do that. That would be something that whoever developed the original document would likely do, because it'd be way, it's always easier to do in the original document like Word rather than to convert some PDF version of ADA compliant document. So I'm bold. I contacted the Revise, they're the current website provider for Valley Branch Watershed District, to get a cost estimate on what it would take to get the website itself ADA compliant. And they provided a proposal that's included in your packet. It included
Is that page 4?
excuse me.
Is that page 4?
32 of 38 of me.
Okay.
It's toward the end of the.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the wrong thing.
It says revised quote. It's 32 of 38.
Okay, thank you.
So right now they're including a migration of up to 100 pages and 1,900 documents. It's unclear what that number would be, that second row. The other items are using one of their templates and customizing it or making it a Valley Branch Watershed District website. Managers have until early 2027, I think it's April 26th of 2027 to comply with the ruling.
Okay. Quick question, just in case I missed something. The items that we now have archived, can we leave those alone until we are required to do something? In other words, and I'm just asking, somebody wants this information and it must be ADA compliant, then we remove it and make it so. In other words, make the changes that are necessary. I don't know how involved those are, because I read something here about the maps and that having required a website to be used to help clean that up or make it what we want. So is that an issue?
So far, nothing has been archived.
Okay.
So that would be the first task, is to figure out what really should be archived for sure. And then maybe a category of questionable whether it should be archived or remain active, and then ones that are used the most frequently, like the permit application form and the rules and as such, I think should be updated to be ADA compliant. The process that you're talking about to try to minimize what would be on the website and then update it as necessary could definitely be done.
And we don't have to sweat, so to speak, the 2027 compliance deadline with that. What I'm getting at is what is required will do.
Yep.
Because these nice people at Revise want, I'm not trying to be, you know, Scrooge or something, but 8922. And as I believe you pointed out earlier, that's not everything.
But the current website, for example, it has a banner on the top and a side column and things like that, that might not be ADA compliant because it might be the wrong color scheme and the way somebody might navigate through it might not be ADA compliant. You also have to have ADA compliance on your mobile device for websites. I'm not sure if the Valley Branch website is ADA compliant with the mobile device. So the cost that Revise is quoting here, you know, I've heard other watershed districts spending $15,000 for a new website. So this seems in that same ballpark.
So in your professional estimation, this is not so bad. This is typical.
This seems typical. I could definitely ask others for quotes too. Like Revise has been the Valley Branch Watershed District's website provider. Has it been 10 years? I guess.
Yeah, and they've been consistent and good with us, and we haven't had anything to complain about. Comments from any of the managers? Yes, sir.
So the week ago that they did the evaluation of our website, are they interested in working with us and doing any of this work? Or I didn't see a quote from them.
I didn't request a quote. I can. They didn't meet their commitment. I had asked for them to provide this report and they said that they would do it within a couple of weeks. So it was a couple of months.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, maybe
that
that's
was
somebody.
an indication that maybe they don't have the
Right.
staff to get things done.
Right, follow through.
You have a comment, Rick?
Couple of questions. I didn't see where the GIS portion of the site would be addressed in the quote that Revise provided. Does that mean that they're not doing anything at all with that part of it?
The current GIS mapping has been done by BAR.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the person I spoke with at Revise, but he led me to believe that it would be better for BAR to do it than for them to do it, since we have all files.
Uh-huh.
And it's still not clear to me how you can make a web map
Yeah.
ADA compliant.
Mm-hmm.
Conversations I had with Washington County, they provided me a document that the state of Minnesota had put together. It's some guidance, not rules, but guidance on web mapping. And with Washington County, they were going through that to see what they need to do as far as color, different attributes getting different colors.
Mm-hmm.
But then also they're putting a button on their website that said that if you need help interpreting what this says, call us and then we'll help them.
So
I'm not sure if
there'd be
that
an
is-
individual that would,
Yes,
so it's kind of a manual process.
I'm not sure if that would. Seems like that would be the intent of the law, but I'm not sure. And that seems like the number of users that Valley Branch has, and then the subset that would need assistance, that might be satisfactory.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay. Does Esri do anything like this? You know,
And most of our maps, that's where they start out. It's from that grade. So-
Right. I would think that they would be involved in that type of thing. But, it sounds like, a simple solution certainly fits, if it's a pretty minimal type of demand on it. that, that may be the best way to go, but.
I haven't received a clear answer on when that and what other watershed districts are doing, what other government entities are doing, what really has to be done.
It seems, actually, the thing that came across my mind is, isn't this a good AI application? It seems like you'd think there'd be somebody out there developing something for, ADA compliant website type of stuff based on AI.
I'm guessing they are. I don't know if it'll be available by 2027.
Right. And, are we even the ballpark in terms of the kind of thing that would need to be done? I mean, I don't want to make this a big expensive type of thing.
Right.
But
So that
it
was-
might be worthwhile looking to see if there are any options.
Yeah, and you have time, so
Yeah.
it's been a few meetings since the managers have talked about this. Just wanted to
Mhm.
provide you what's been provided to me.
John, Mr. Brown.
So trying to get my hand around the whole big picture on this, and I understand the website redesign. And as you mentioned, the real work is modifying all the documents that are going to be on here. And I'm just, do you have any idea of the scope of that? How big of a, I mean, is that like another 10,000 or is that like 100,000 or is, I'm just curious, I just have no idea where this is
Yeah,
going.
so Josh and I have gone through the Valley Branch website to try to figure out like which documents are good, which ones are so old that we should just archive and which
Yeah.
ones would need some work. But we haven't come up with a precise cost estimate for your draft budget. I think I put in $25,000
Mhm.
for 2026.
That's plenty, huh? Okay. so-
Well, and I think
Yes.
there's it's pretty important to have that website because it is a,
Oh, yeah,
a important communication tool for us.
right. So we've established that Revise has been doing their job for the last decade, right? So if I could ask, any of you gentlemen have the numbers? What are we paying them annually for what they're doing now?
I think it's around $1,000. It's for general hosting maintenance.
Okay. And that, in my opinion, that doesn't seem like such a great expense for what our website offers and we need it.
Mhm.
And so, because we have time, if we can figure out what the added costs are gonna be for ADA compliance and anything else we have to do. And because we have, as I said earlier, the time, or you said it as well, that we can figure out where this is heading in terms of what we want to do and what we can do. And Rick also mentioned, maybe by that time, AI can jump in and put this whole thing to rest, if that's the case, you know?
Yeah, I think it'd be worthwhile exploring a little bit as to whether or not anybody is working on something like that.
Yes. You know, by the time this comes due, we could have that with the Washington County software, you know, that squares us, minimizes costs if possible. So I'm all for sitting on it and acquiring information. And did we give you enough information to follow up on?
Yes, I'll gather more information, but well, you do have time. If documents need to be updated to be ADA compliant, it's not something that can just be done in a few minutes. It
Got
takes quite a bit of time, so I think I'll have making some sort of decision within the next few months about the
Okay.
direction I'd like to go would be.
It's probably wise to do it that way anyway, because we don't want to be at the deadline when we're.
I agree, I
You know,
agree. And also
All the other.
to get an idea of what typically our constituents or residents are going to ask for and what it would take to make a particular document ADA compliant. You know, if that's something that's gonna be several hours or whatever the case is. You know, I'm looking at from a position of an as-needed basis. But if it needs to be all inclusive, then by all means, because we need to be compliant. So, simple enough.
Understand, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do the managers have any further questions? Any comments from our legal team? Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so we're good for now. And we will await further information, I guess at your leisure at this point, because we've got a few things coming up. Thank you, sir. Okay. The next item is going to be the resolution. Oh, I'm sorry, we got that recording. Attorney.
You have the resolution 2025-07 in your packet. This is to authorize the purchase, approve the purchase of Mr. Sullivan's property. And Ed, this is the resolution I gave you a proposed motion language for, if you'd like to use that when you're ready, unless you'd like to discuss.
Is there anything that the manager would like to discuss on this particular issue? It seems simple enough, and we've already established this. And provide us with the information on.
It's a little half sheet.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, then if there's nothing further from any of the managers, I would like to move to adopt resolution 2025-07, approving the purchase of property located at 2778 Legion Avenue North. As pre-read, any minor corrections requested by the homeowner may be made without further authorization.
Second.
So moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 That's approved.
And if you could sign the resolution and have Mr. Brock sign it as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. There we are. That's pretty certain. Thanks. And then we leave that for
Yeah, I'll come grab it.
Attorney Kilm. Thank you, ma'am. All right, that's squared away. Let's move on to the next item. That's going to be to I'd like to make a motion to suspend our regular meeting at this time.
So before you close the meeting officially, we'll have you read that
Oh,
blurb. And if the manager wish to not discuss any of the other properties, we can limit it just to the Winkles property tonight, which is 2814 Legion. But that would mean we can't discuss any of the other properties. So if the managers are okay with that, Ed, you only have to read that one property when you get to that point.
yes, ma'am. Okay.
If that's okay with all managers. If you'd
Yeah.
like to be open to discussing the other properties in conjunction with this offer, then I pointed out because I don't know that it'll be necessary in the discussion for the closed meeting tonight. I think we can keep it focused only on 2814.
We went for that's Mr. Winkle's property.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so before closing the meeting, the Valley Branch Watershed District will transition to a closed meeting pursuant to Minnesota statute section 13-44 subdivision 3 to review and discuss appraisals ordered by Valley Branch Watershed District for the purpose of acquiring land through purchase and pursuant to 13D.05 subdivision 3C to review appraisals and develop or consider offers for the purchase of real property. The real property that will be discussed during the closed meeting is
2814.
2814 Legion Avenue North, Lake Elmo.
Thank you. You may now make a motion to close the meeting.
Thank you. All right, I would like to make a motion to suspend
Thank you,
our
sorry.
regular meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Our regular meeting is now suspended. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate your patience. Seriously. Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you. I love it. Okay,
I think John's gonna mute the regular.
Susie's ready and then
Anyway.
I have a story. I'll tell you. Okay. I don't have to read anything prior. I can just open our,
Once you open it, then you can read that motion.
thank you, ma'am. See, she's not here.
Somebody has to be in charge.
Yeah. I'm glad we're not
It's
eating.
usually an attorney that's in
Somewhere,
charge.
you lift my spoon. Okay. I would like to make a motion to resume our regular meeting at this time. Do I have a second?
Second.
So moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 We are now back in our regular meeting. With that said, I would like to make a motion to accept the counter offer to purchase 2814 Legion Avenue North for $535,000 to be paid 25% as earnest money and 75% at closing, and have the property vacated on or before June 1st, 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Thank you, sir.
I think that's very equitable. And I appreciate the effort that's been put into it.
We try to please.
Yep. I understand.
It's all about us. It's not about us. It's all of us.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
I very much appreciate that.
And we appreciate your patience too.
Yeah.
You know, this
Thank
was
you.
tough stuff to do.
Worked with municipalities before and it's a process and it's fine, or government entities, I should say.
Mhm.
So
Please tell Mrs. Winkle that we hope she's smiling.
she will be smiling in about 2 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Good.
Be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Counselor. Okay. Okay. We're doing that. Inspector. Mr. Brower.
President Mershon, managers, they did get into the report in the packet. Have some updates, but if you have some questions, you don't need to go ahead and proceed, however. you're-
Please proceed. If the managers have any questions, we will ask you. So far, so good. Excuse me.
We've been working towards, trying to wrap up part of the development where the Tesla site is. There's still an open lot there. This week, they hired a contractor to come in and stabilize, grade a slope where we've had issues above an infiltration basin. They came up with a fabric lined rock swale, which should hold up it. Everything else, every time it rained, the water that would sheet flow just kept cutting a gully down to the infiltration basin.
In a new place or?
Yeah, I
same-
mean, this has been going on for 2 years.
Right.
And so finally, I think they came up with a solid design. We'll see. You know, you never know until we see the rain, but it seems like it should hold up. Then we have to just make sure the vegetation takes. This site, this development has the Tesla site on it. It has the daycare center. So there's one open lot. And they've been pushing to try to close the permit, but of course we have an open lot that isn't developed, so we can't close the permit unless maybe they sell the lot or however that procedure, and I would have John comment on that, but you know. If
I've
everybody's
spoken with the permit holder. I think the cleanest way would be for us to amend the existing permit that says that the permit's required for development on each lot and then close this permit.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
Cool.
So we'll see, as long as, once vegetation is established. As part of the Oakland Middle School renovations, they had to update all the utilities going into the school, like sewer and water. And if you've gone over by 10th Street between Manning and Lake Elmo Avenue. It's been closing it. They actually had to de-water along there to put the infrastructure and they hit water, I think at 15 feet. And they had to go 20 feet to put in their infrastructure. So they set up dewatering last week and with the idea that the water would go to Horseshoe Lake, which has an outlet on it. Made sure it didn't go to Rose Lake, which the levels were higher. So that was some coordination. And then turned out the water actually was migrating over to Terry Emerson's property as a pole barn and some property. They had permission to send the water across his property to the lake. But it actually, the way it was, the topography is it kind of went back into a man-made wetland in his property. No issues, walked it with the property owner, there's an outlet there. The water never got high enough to cause a problem, but again, making sure they're not gonna flood out a pole barn and somebody's private property. So they shut down one of the pumping stations today. The other one shuts down tomorrow. Everything should be okay. So hopefully they'll wrap that up in the next week. So no issues to be had there. Shilton South, they finally came up with a solution to stop water from going down the slope. The slope still needs to be regraded, repaired and so forth, but they put in a berm that will not let the water get to that area. Silver Lake, I think last week on the 18th, when I was out there, it was at 12 inches. This is right after, I think we had 4.5 inches of rain
Yeah.
that weekend. It was down to 8 inches this week, so it's dropped significantly. So that's good. Goose Lake, they were, as the managers are aware that the county was pumping, is it was actually up on the pavement that week. The pump is still running, but is down below the shoulder now.
Yeah.
I would anticipate they would shut that down tomorrow, but I don't know. I had been checking Rose Lake at the same time just to see what's going on there because the levels had come up there. I don't think we have an emergency there at this point. I know it's up to the Cimarron folks to ask the county for help if there's an emergency. I don't think it's at a point where it requires pumping, but I guess we'll see, if they request it. I don't think they will. We always have to be careful about pumping Rose Lake because sending that water into, Horseshoe and then to the St. Croix, it's not very good water. So anyway, everything's okay there. Springs of Lake Elmo, if you remember, we've had the ongoing issue of they have a underground storage system for water with chambers that they use to irrigate. We've had issues with the system leaking and going underneath the wall to the Tesla property. This week, they were lining the storm sewer pipe. They had a system where they have a fabric material that goes in that gets pressurized and adhered to line the pipe. So I guess we'll see what happens during the next heavy rain. If that was the actual source of the leak, because we really don't know at this point. Hopefully that doesn't. So that permit can't close out till we're sure, and then the city actually can't close their permit out till we approve it. So that'll be hanging out there a little bit. And then you notice maybe on Manning, they've been doing the shoulder work down by the new Manning apartments on the south side of 94. One thing that is part of the project, and I spoke with Josh Phillips about this, the city did put in the previous projects, the corner of Manning and Hudson Road, there's a small wetland there.
Right.
And that corner keeps washing and it's been patched and basically they had a flume going into the wetland and everything's washing out. As part of the project, this project on Manning, the city made it part of the contractor's work to redo that area. I see they've already regraded that, so I guess we'll stay tuned and see if they've found a good solution. It just was a matter of the water sheet flows from across and all goes right to that one point above that wetland. So I'm not sure how you just correct it on the slope, because you've got a lot of water coming over there. So anyway, we'll stay tuned for that. And then the PFAS station, there was a contractor this week pulling up all the rock and regrading it, and they were gonna seed it. They were going to leave the silt fence in place until the vegetation was at like 70%. I spoke to the contractor. So that should be wrapped up this year. We should be, we should be able to close that permit, I would think, by the end of the season anyway, if we get enough rain for something to germinate. So no other issues out there. I did go out to Eagle Point when we had that high water at Goose. And there was no water in that overflow structure.
Really?
At the dam. There was nothing. So there's lots of capacity. There's not, so even though they're pumping Goose Lake, I doubt it wouldn't even get to that structure because there was a lot of capacity at Eagle Point.
So very quickly, Goose Lake gets pumped and it goes to Eagle Point Lake.
Yeah, overland through
Overland.
some bike trails and other things through the park.
And then the pipe underneath, Lake Elmo.
And so it would go into Eagle Point. There's a culvert. It would go into Eagle Point. Eagle Point would raise up enough. I mean, right now there's an outlet that it bypasses the Lake Elmo, goes through the
Right.
pipe underneath.
Yep.
Unless it hits overcapacity where it hits that overflow
Right.
in the weir, and then it can spill into Lake Elmo, which we saw, 4 years ago or 5 years ago? We saw that happening during that flooding where everything was overflowing into the lake. So, but there was a lot of capacity. I doubt that it had much impact, at least from what I could see, whatever the Eagle Point, it was really low.
Does that ultimately end up in our storage at, West Lakeland? And
Yes, yeah,
because that was looking rather high recently.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, but everything looked good over there. It's just, for some reason, Goose Lake really, well, because we had a lot of water, obviously, but it's just amazing how fast it came up. So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Both sides. Do any of the managers have any questions for our inspector? It's looking good.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your help.
Yes.
All good this week, and it's been pretty pleasant.
It's been good because the construction sites after that heavy rain, it was just a mess.
Yeah,
It was just, as you can imagine, every site was in tough shape, but the wall held up at the Amazon site. They've got that all figured out. There were no issues, no walls collapsing.
you don't giggle when you go up there and inspect you.
No, it's a really, really sore subject over there. There's no joking about that one because that cost them a fortune. Because not only did they have to tear the wall apart, they have these big outlet pipes for the storm sewer that were encased in concrete, and then tear all that out and re-pour all that infrastructure. So I don't know how much money that is, but they dropped a lot of money on that. So, yeah, no joking out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess it did not push Amazon to the edge of.
No,
Randall.
no, but maybe from a budget standpoint, if you're the contractor, I'm not sure how that stuff gets, things like that are handled within a contract, right? So.
Funny. Very good, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's see, now we're going to managers. Resolution 2025-04, approving and adopting the minor amendment to the 2015-2025 Watershed Management Plan. A motion is required. This seems simple enough, John. It's a very brief explanation.
My fellow managers held a public hearing at your last meeting for this minor plan amendment. Minor plan amendment is to allow you specifically to be able to purchase the top home. process was followed, only received comments from the Department of Health reminding us to seal wells, that sort of thing. After the public hearing, the Board of Water and Soil Resources confirmed that it is a minor plan amendment, and the letter indicating that is attached to the memo. So
Okay,
tonight, if the managers would like, it's a matter of adopting the resolution.
okay.
And then authorizing Bar to distribute the approval.
Any managers want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-04, which is a resolution approving and adopting the minor amendment to the 2015-2025 watershed management plan.
I will second that motion. It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
that is approved. Now, 2025-04, we need a signature here, or do we have to approve that one separately?
If you authorize me, I'll use your electronic signature since this one has something on the back of it.
Please do, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Brock as well.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Okay,
Need to authorize Bar to distribute the plan amendment.
did we
Or
add
did you
that?
do that?
Do we need to do that too? Did I miss
If
something?
you point to me, I'll do it.
Boom.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That was easy work.
Man, get any better than that. Okay, the Watershed's annual meeting on resolutions. I'm going to defer to Vice President Don. I was there, of course.
So
Now,
this is,
yeah,
yeah,
I have a question for you. but-
our other delegate was there and I'm happy to inform you that he was very well behaved. It went really, really well. This was again our first time we're doing the new process where we do our resolutions early to give us time to establish our legislative platform. The goal of the platform is to wait till after the elections, so we can get a feel for what the complexion of the legislation will be. And then we'll have our resolutions ready to rock.
Right on.
To put together in a more timely manner, the legislative platform. But it went really well. It helped that we only had 3 resolutions, which was
Yes.
stark contrast to the annual meeting last December. Jan Voigt was a little bit uptight about doing this virtually, but it went really well. Her and I and Brad and Matty Bone debriefed immediately afterwards, and we really, none of it really changed much at all to make it better. So,
The only question I had was, I was hesitant because I didn't think you needed my hand up or down for anything, correct? Or did I miss something?
if you're gonna vote, then you have to, either way, then you gotta raise your hand up. We didn't have any votes that were very close. There was the WACA modification on ditch systems that were older than 25 years old. There were like 9 votes in opposition to that, but a much larger number that were voting in support of it. So, yeah, I mean,
I figured it went.
so if you had your hand up or not, it wouldn't have changed the outcome.
Yeah.
But in the future, yeah, I mean, when we call for a vote, then we look for the hands, and Maddie was.
Oh, I know, yeah, I understood all that. I only held up my hand to show how swollen it was. It covered my face, but it's just better now. But I thought it was very smooth. We'd like to see that. So thank Jen for us, and
You're
thank you, sir. Okay, that's squared away. Information only, cost share tracking, the cost share program, project tracking, where are we at with that, John?
Let's see, put in your packet like always.
Oh, this, sorry. I thought it was something else. Understood. Okay. Thank you for that. The next meetings will be held September 11th and 25th. Will all the managers be available? I assume we'll have a quorum. That's fine. Next one, workshop regarding rules and regulations, possibly September 22nd at 5 p.m.
says possibly because all the managers and legal counsel were available then, except for Manager Armstrong. Manager Armstrong read you his response. I think.
That's not from tonight, is it?
No, it's from Tuesday. He said he noticed in the packet there was a possible meeting on September 22nd regarding the rules and regs. He'd like to attend that meeting, but he'll be on his honeymoon from September 16th through October 2nd. It's fine if the meeting takes place while I'm away. So if managers would like Manager Armstrong to also attend, I'll do another doodle poll to extend beyond October 2nd, because I think that the tour and the cost share program are that first week in October, and I think that those were the last dates that I put in the doodle poll. So if I extend it beyond October 8th, there might be a date that works for all managers.
Is
Or
that,
if you want to have a workshop without Bill, and something like it's okay to have a.
yes, sir.
My opinion is we probably ought to just push the date out. I feel like that's a big enough deal that all the managers ought to be there, just that's my personal feeling.
I like your thoughts, sir.
And especially Bill with his legal background and opinions.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mhm.
I'll send out another doodle.
Can I ask?
Yes, sir.
From the existing doodle poll, was there another date where? No, okay.
Okay. I don't know what they got cooked up for me, you know. September 20th. They're making me go to a Vikings Cincinnati Bengals game on Sunday. We'll see how that turns out. Okay, we covered that. Valley Branch Watershed District Tour, October 6th at 4 p.m. Everybody's good with that? That sounds good. And will you be joining us? Oh, thank you. That would be much appreciated and be beneficial. You could always tell us what not to, you know, don't step there. Because it happens. And Mr. Inspector, you will be with us, correct?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir. Okay, and John, you will give us proper notice to get us ready. Okay. The workshop regarding the cost share program, October 8th at 5 p.m. What is that day? On
I
a,
believe it's a Wednesday.
okay, thank you,
The
sir.
tour would be Monday, the
Yep,
workshop
2
would
days
be
later.
Wednesday, and the
Yep.
board meeting would be Thursday.
Very good, sir. Okay, and hopefully everybody's okay with that. And then the watershed budget workshop with the Washington County Board, I will be attending that. And I suppose the other managers could attend if they like, you especially, Vice President.
I have.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah,
How'd you get stuck?
because I was waited too long to
Oh,
schedule
that's
it.
the opener. Yeah, you're gonna see something interesting.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
They probably looked
Okay.
at it, It's,
So John, give me ample notice for that one as well. Okay, and one more thing. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded.
aye.
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 We are adjourned. Yeah.